This is lesson 155 if you need a copy of the lesson. A much longer lesson than we often do, but this is our lesson, as I said, that will be in the prayer ministry for the month of August. Beautiful lesson. It's got a lot of thoughts in it, but the constant thing that's always saying here is it's time for us to step back from what we think. And you might say, well, I have so many things I have to do. I've got a lot of busy things I have to do. Of course you've got a lot of busy things to do, and that's important for you to do the things you need to do, but you don't want to do them alone. Because when we do them alone, we feel kind of overwhelmed, don't we? Don't we feel kind of, when we think we have to handle the whole world ourselves, it's a lot to manage. So to be able to know that you walk to God, you have a greater purpose than what you think, and that you're always supported. What a thing to know. And so this lesson is just a reminder, it's time for us to practice this truth. Does anybody need a copy of the lesson for tonight? I'm sorry, I didn't ask. I guess everybody's got one. Well, let's look at those first couple of paragraphs, because this is kind of an interesting thing, and maybe you've experienced this with family and friends. It says, there's a way of living in this world that's not here, although it still seems to be. It says you don't change appearances, although you might smile more frequently. The more you study this material, you might find that the things of the world don't seem to upset you quite the way they used to. You can find a little chuckle here and there about some of these things. It says your forehead is serene and your eyes are quiet, and the ones who walk the world as you do, well, they kind of recognize their own. They kind of go, you know, I know what you're feeling. I can understand that. It says, yet those who have not yet perceived the way, they look at you and they think you are like them as you were before. Have you ever been at family gatherings where people are used to you getting upset or used to whatever, and they look at you and they think you're still just the same old way, right? And hasn't that bugged you, that they see you that way, even though you've changed? Yeah, it does. But you know what? That doesn't mean that the change hasn't worked. It just means that they're seeing themselves. What they see in you is their own stuff going on. That's not an indicator that you're not doing your work. The indicator of that you're not doing your work is how you feel about it when they don't see you the way you think you should be seen. If you get angry about it, then that's your issue, isn't it? That they see you still the same as they used to doesn't mean anything. You know what you are. And the determination of your peace is not whether somebody else responds to you peacefully. It's how you respond to them. Okay, and that's what this is saying. It's funny. One of our listeners, Lois in Arizona, and by the way, Lois, I haven't heard from you very much, so it's kind of fun to see you on the chat board. She was saying that she has a dog that she likes to walk every morning, and it's a big dog, so he has formidable poop, she said. Yeah, she called it, he's got formidable, well, she didn't quite say, she said like a thing of nature or something was for her thing of nature was her gifts of nature. Her gifts to nature are formidable, is how she put it. I just call it formidable poop. Anyway, she said that there's always a big trash can right at the beginning of where she walks, and it's where they put the poop. And she said she noticed that nobody had been dumping the trash can. And so she was walking her dog and came back, and she noticed a big bunch of poop that was right by the trash can that had not been simply put in a bag and put into the trash can. I mean, it's like, why didn't you just, it's right there. Why didn't you just pick it up and put it in the trash can? So she said, you know what? Frank had commented at the last meeting. She was commenting on all the different comments from the last study group. And she said he was commenting about forgiveness at the last meeting. So she said, I decided to do this. She said, I just cleaned it up. And she says, I walked on. And for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I listened to the study group discuss forgiveness, and I thought it was trivial. I decided to use the poop scoop, the dog poop situation, as my example of the moment. No way could I forgive the action, she said. I still was bugged by it. However, I could choose to see my immediate future differently. And so I looked up as I approached our condo building, and I saw 2 deer up on the hill, and the temperature was perfect, the sky was blue, and my wonderful dog was by my side. The situation on the trail was such a non-issue that it was laughable. And you know, we can all kind of go, yeah, see, that's it. I mean, you can get upset about it and kind of go, well, that's just a ridiculous thing. But you clean it up. You may think people need to be a little bit more accountable, but you kind of say, okay, kind of funny, isn't it? They had to poop right on the ground by the trash can. Why don't you just pick the dog up and let it poop in the trash can? You know, it could be another way of doing it. But I just thought, what a good lesson. I mean, you don't have to sit here and go, I have to forgive them. Oh, God, forgive them. Forgive the person who can't remember to take the little plastic bag with them as they walk their dog and scoop the poop in there. It's not about doing that. It's simply about saying, I'll do it, and isn't it silly? It's a non-issue.